We've all been there. You're at a coffee shop, an airport, maybe a hotel, and you see that free public Wi-Fi. You connect without even thinking twice. It's just so convenient, right? But what if that convenience comes with a hidden cost? Let's dive in and uncover the real price you might be paying for free Wi-Fi.
Look, public Wi-Fi is pretty much essential to our modern lives. It keeps us online and connected no matter where we go. But here's the catch. These networks are, by their very nature, open and often unencrypted, and that makes them a perfect playground for anyone with bad intentions.
So it really forces us to ask this critical question. Is that connection you're using actually free? Or are you paying for it with something way more valuable than money, your own personal data?
Just think about all the places we connect. Hotel lobbies, cafes, train stations. Our reliance on these hotspots makes us predictable. And you know who loves predictability? Cybercriminals. The very thing that makes these networks so great, their easy accessibility, is also their single biggest weakness.
And believe me, the stakes here are incredibly high. We are not talking about small potatoes. A single data breach, say in the hotel industry, can cost on average almost $4 million. That number alone should tell you just how valuable the information passing through these networks really is.
So who are the bad guys in this story? Let's meet the digital threats that are lurking in the shadows of these open networks. And we're not just talking about some hacker in a hoodie. These are sophisticated attacks that are, frankly, surprisingly easy for criminals to pull off.
First up, you've got the classic man-in-the-middle attack. Okay, imagine you're sending a letter to a friend, but a spy intercepts it, opens it, reads it, maybe even changes a few words, and then sends it on its way. Neither you nor your friend would ever know. That's exactly what's happening here, but with your data. The attacker puts themselves right in the middle, and they see everything.
Then there's something called packet sniffing. See, Wi-Fi signals are really just radio waves flying through the air. And with some very basic, easy-to-get software, anyone on the network can just listen in. If your data isn't encrypted, it's the digital version of someone literally reading your private messages over your shoulder.
Now this one is really sneaky. The evil twin. An attacker sets up a fake Wi-Fi network that looks totally legitimate. Like coffee shop _free Wi-Fi. You connect, thinking you're safe, but nope. You've just handed over the keys to your entire internet session directly to a criminal. Now, it's really important to know the difference between an evil twin and something else you might hear about, a rogue access point. An evil twin is always malicious. It's a trap set up on purpose to trick you. A rogue AP, on the other hand, isn't always evil. It might just be an employee plugging in their own router to get a better signal. The problem is that router creates an accidental, unsecured backdoor into a private network. So, think of it this way. One is a trap, the other is just an unlocked door.
Okay, so what actually happens when your connection is compromised? What's the big deal? Well, it's about way more than just someone seeing which cat videos you're watching. The consequences can be really, really serious.
A lot of us have been trained to look for that little padlock icon and HTTPS in the address bar and assume we're totally safe. But listen, it isn't a perfect shield. Even with that encryption, the network operator or an attacker pretending to be one can still see a surprising amount of stuff. They might not see your password, but they can see the names of every single website you visit. And that alone can build a pretty detailed map of your entire online life. Don't just take my word for it. As cybersecurity expert Jacob Calvo puts it, your data is essentially broadcasting in the open. And the tools needed to grab that data aren't some high-tech spy gear. They're basic and readily available. This isn't just a theoretical risk, it's a very practical and common reality on unsecured networks.
And the fallout from these kinds of vulnerabilities can be absolutely massive. Just look at the hospitality industry. The attack on MGM Resorts cost the company over $100 million. And the Marriott breach? 5.2 million guest records were exposed. These incidents show just how quickly a simple network weakness can blow up into a full-blown corporate catastrophe.
All right, enough of the doom and gloom, because the good news is you are not helpless here. Not at all. Let's walk through your personal security toolkit. These are simple, powerful steps you can take right now to protect yourself.
Probably the safest alternative to public Wi-Fi is something you already have in your pocket, your phone's mobile hotspot. It is dramatically more secure. Why? Because cellular networks have strong encryption built right in, you have full control over who connects, and your exposure to these threats is way, way lower. When in doubt, just use your hotspot.
Honestly, the best defense is just building good habits. Think of these as your core 4. First, use a VPN. It's crucial. It encrypts everything, making your data just gibberish to anyone trying to snoop. Second, enable multi-factor authentication everywhere you can. That way, even if a hacker on an evil twin network does steal your password, they still can't get into your accounts. Third, keep your software updated. Those updates patch security holes. And fourth, just be mindful. Verify the networks you're connecting to. Together, these 4 steps create a really powerful digital shield. You can also make your device a much harder target with just a few simple tweaks in your settings. Turn off Auto Connect to Wi-Fi. This one step is huge because it stops your phone from joining a malicious network without you even knowing. Also, disabling things like file sharing and network discovery basically makes you invisible to others on the network. Simple changes, but they have a big impact. If you only take away one thing from all of this, let it be this: use a VPN. Seriously. A good VPN creates a secure, encrypted tunnel for all of your internet traffic. It means that even if a hacker is sitting right next to you on the same network, all they can see is garbled, unreadable nonsense. It's like your personal invisibility cloak for the internet.
Now, beyond what we can do personally, the industry as a whole is working on a long-term fix to make public Wi-Fi secure right from the start. So let's take a quick look at what's coming down the pipe.
You can really see the massive shift here. We're moving away from those annoying, insecure login pages, they're called captive portals, to a new standard called Passpoint. So instead of you manually logging into an open network, Passpoint connects you automatically and securely, with strong encryption from the moment you connect. It also verifies that the network is legit, which pretty much kills the whole evil twin threat dead in its tracks.
And building on top of that is something called open roaming. The easiest way to think about it is like cellular roaming, but for Wi-Fi. It's a global agreement that lets your phone or laptop securely and seamlessly hop onto trusted Wi-Fi networks anywhere in the world without you having to lift a finger.
And here's the best part. This isn't some far-off, futuristic dream. The technology is already baked into the devices we use every single day. Support for Passpoint is pretty much universal across modern smartphones and laptops. The foundation for this safer future is already here.
Ultimately, this all ties into a bigger industry trend called zero trust. It's a whole new way of thinking about security. It means we no longer base security on whether you're on a trusted network. Instead, security is all about constantly verifying your identity and your device, every single time. The network itself is always assumed to be hostile.
So, we end with this. Your data is one of your most valuable assets in the modern world. That free Wi-Fi is super tempting, but using it means you're placing all your trust in some unknown network operator. So the real question you have to ask yourself is, are you going to keep outsourcing your security, or are you going to take control of it yourself?